Kipling Williams' Poetry of Horror.
He grips the shotgun and stands guard, straining his eyes for figures in shadows, rubbing his face with an old cloth, the sweat streaming down like blood. Sturdy and gnarly trees groaning in the gusts, the wind howling through the darkened lush, branches scratching the windows around, the old wooden floorboards making creaking sounds. He fled to his remote cabin, but he now knows he cannot escape from them. The howling has brought them here to prey upon his darkest fear. His drunken stupor behind the wheel, his car speeding directly towards theirs. As they swerved to avoid his approach, their car lunged, then dove into a ditch. 5 bodies dead in an instant. The wreckage pinned her to the ground. She gasps for air, lungs collapsing. She whispers, "Please help." He panics, jumps into his car, and speeds away. 10 miles down the dark road, he stops at a river, removes the tags and registration, places a stone on the accelerator, and watches it submerge underwater. Years pass as the nightmares persist. Sitting frozen in front of a psychologist, one night he sees blood writing on the wall. "You did not help us," it read. "You will die like us." As he clenched his eyes in fright, turned on the light, the blood disappeared, laughed hysterically, then he frantically packed. "I must go now to my remote cabin. I will hide there. They won't find me. The next night I will return and dig their graves, bring their bodies here, burn them, and end my nightmare." He drove away in the dead of night to a secluded parking lot, where he stole a car and sped away to his remote cabin in the woods, threw a tarp over the parked car, rushed inside and lit some candles, sighed relief at the still and the silence. Slowly the wind came. He shuddered when they found him. Too late to dig up the graves now. They are here to take him and make him suffer the same fate. He vowed they would not take him alive. He would not die by their hands. He drank and waited. He went to get the arsenic from his kitchen cabinet, the one he used to slowly poison his wife to death. 7 bodies by his hand now. But the arsenic was gone. Who could possibly have taken it? But there it stood on the kitchen table, as if it had been there waiting for him. The chair next to the fireplace began rocking, and the ghost of his wife began singing. "Time to go, my dear. The anniversary of my death is near. The clock strikes 2 of 3, and I will be..." I'm sorry, he pleaded. His wife raised her finger to her mouth. "Tis, tis, tis. Too late, my dear. The deed was done. You will be gone before the rise of the sun." With a swift stroke, she bent his head, opened his mouth, and poured the poison down his throat. Tears streaming down his face recalled the last breath of his wife that night, tearing away down the road. The relief rising to celebrate over his execution of his wife's demise, enhancing his delight by the bottle of elixir with a government seal. The police suspected, but could never prove it was him. He covered his tracks and created an alibi, but the hate would eat him from the inside. And 6 innocents driving a dark road would become the necessary catalyst for the ensuing events to unfold. They came into the cabin and took his limp body, placed him in the car and pushed it to the river nearby. Down into the water he sank, submerged like the crime he tried to avert. His wife and her 6 new friends hugged in a circle. Justice has been served. They have been appeased. They hold hands as they walk to their graves. They are free to rest in eternal peace.